Welcome to the Business Growth Podcast. Today I'm here with Ben, the director of Morphry Thyme, who has over 25 years experience in the field. Welcome to the show, Ben.
Thank you, Leonard.
All right, cool. So to kick things off, tell us a little bit more what you guys do at Morphry Thyme.
So, Morphry Thyme are an outsourced finance team. So we deal with all the day-to-day aspects of what an accounting department would deal with in a larger firm, but for small businesses. So your family-owned local businesses, your startups, your growing businesses. And that ranges from people sort of with five or so employees up to 50, with turnover from £500,000 up to our largest client we now work with is about 10 million. And that's probably our limit. So we're in that sort of what you call the SME market.
Yeah, okay, cool. And then I know when we spoke last, which stood out to me a little bit, was you said you enjoy the favorite part of your job is to give other people jobs. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
Where does that kind of mindset come from?
Well, I mean, most people go into business and the primary purpose is to make money. Then yeah, we all need to make money to live. But I like to have, I'm never going to be a millionaire, let's be honest, because every time I make a bit more money, I'm like, oh, I can employ somebody else to do that job or someone else to do this job. And quite often it's where I identify with myself, where I'm getting so overwhelmed with a certain aspect of what we're doing. It's like, hang on a minute, I could bring somebody else in to do that job, relieve the pressure on me. I've created another employment opportunity. And then most recently, we've just taken on an apprentice to bring through. So it's not necessarily always identifying a specialist or a particular person. It might be bringing someone in who you can grow and develop yourself, and that's what I really enjoy.
Yeah, yeah, I find, and then for me, it's always yeah, I like investing into new people, and like you said, freeing up the time to then just keep scaling the business, it sounds like.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then I know you said, so currently you're at around about 11 people, and you're looking to scale that to 25 people in the next about 2 years. What's kind of like the plan to be able to achieve such 2x the business essentially?
Yeah, so it's quite ambitious growth. I mean, we've been going just over 4 years, started with just myself. So we've grown reasonably steadily. However, I can see that within the UK, we've got making tax digital for income tax coming in April, which can be more compliance for small businesses to deal with. Whilst we don't deal with personal tax per se, the whole background of that is going to be good, solid bookkeeping. And I think that's where we've got a real gap in the market where we can step into that perhaps a lot of the larger firms will struggle to fill. They'll be able to do it, but it's whether those small businesses can afford for them to do it. So I can see there's a huge opportunity for us to help a lot of small businesses in that space. And yeah, we're just doing lots of networking, getting out there, talking to other professionals, other business groups, just to get our name out there. And it seems to be working. Obviously, someone like yourself from Australia who's picked up on me from LinkedIn, we must be doing something right.
Yeah, okay, nice. And then so you mentioned you're doing a bit of networking. Do you have much other plans in terms of more client acquisition? Because I imagine you need 2x clients to have 2x staff essentially. So what other client acquisition plans do you have?
So some other things we're doing is we're quite big on social media. So I do quite a bit myself on LinkedIn, and we do quite a bit on sort of Facebook. We're looking into our SEO performance. We've dropped off a little bit recently. But yeah, the biggest source for us for new clients is word of mouth. It's those fellow professionals, other accounting firms who get asked, do you know a bookkeeper? And existing clients. I would say 95% of our new work comes from referral marketing. And the best source of a new client is a recommendation. So that's where we really push it. Obviously, we do other sort of we go to local school. We're going to go to local schools to sort of educate the younger generation on what it is to become a bookkeeper accountant in the modern world. And then from there you then meet parents and you can get conversations going. And it's all about that human interaction. And I'm sure we'll come on to the other side of the organisation and the challenges that we're facing. But people are the core of what every business does. And if you don't have people, you can't sell to anybody. So yeah, just connecting with people is our big thing.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah, and that's a pretty high amount. 95 percent comes from referral, and obviously the people that come from referral, it's just so much easier to then turn into a client. Usually they show up to calls, all that kind of stuff. So moving forward, is that kind of you're planning to stick to around that percentage, or you're thinking to do some other things to maybe do like some online marketing, anything to get more clients as well?
We've done a little bit of that, and it hasn't always given us the same level of payback. A couple of hours of myself or a colleague going and meeting someone for a coffee for lunch gives so much more. We get so much more back from it than putting an advert out in the local newsletter or other forms of marketing. I think the pay-per-click market, that's something we've toyed with, but the cost per acquisition is quite high.
Mhm.
Um, and because you're getting cold leads with that, you don't
Yeah.
know the people. Whereas if someone's referring into you, you've already got sort of, oh, I know them, they need some help. So you've
Mhm.
got that sort of relationship, semi-relationship
Oh
built
yeah.
in there already. And yeah, some of the cold referrals we have had have been a disaster.
Mhm.
Because you don't know them, you don't know their backstory, you don't know their history. It's not to say that all of them are like that,
Yeah.
but yeah, that referral from a person or another organisation is really where we want to be.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's night and day difference between a referral and someone that comes from an ad, definitely. Especially like you said, and then also just like the trust element, like do they trust you, and then the difference between referral. And then I guess I'm curious, like, do you feel you're going to be able to grow the business from that 11 to 25 employees, just relying as much on referrals? Because also from chatting to other business owners, referrals aren't always as reliable. Or what do you kind of plan to do with all that?
I mean, I think like I say, I built it so far where we are now from naught. We're about 100 clients now that we're working with, gone from
Mhm.
0 to 11 staff in 4 years. And I've only really started to get back out in the last 12, 18 months in front of people again, other than clients. And we've noticed just by doing that, it's created growth. So
Mhm.
hitting that harder. I've just got another accountant joining our firm, sort of management accountant, so that'll relieve the workload from me to be able to get out there. And we had some a social media audit earlier this year. And the guy that came in, he was talking about, yes, you've got the name, you've got the brand of Morphry Thyme, people understand what you do, but Morphry Thyme is Ben Aldridge, and Ben Aldridge needs to get out there and talk to people and tell people who you are.
Uh-huh.
The other thing that comes with the referral marketing is keeping abreast of other bookkeeping firms, because with this Making Tax Digital coming along, there's going to be a lot of bookkeepers and small accountants who are like going to throw the towel in. It's another thing from HMRC. I don't want to deal with it. So we have got potential to look at acquisition or merger, but obviously that may that may happen, that may not.
hmm Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. And then so it's just basically sticking in it while times get tough, and then because of that, you create more opportunity for yourself, essentially. Um, your audio just cut out for a second.
Ah, sorry.
It's back. It's back. All right, cool. It's back. Cool. And then I know when we spoke last as well, you said you guys are looking to implement a couple of like AI stuff into the business. Can you tell us a little bit more? What things are you guys looking at?
Yeah, so we currently use we try and keep they call it an app stack, don't they? We're keeping it relatively clean. So primary use is Zero and QuickBooks Online, and Dext. Every client we use has Dext, but we're finding to try and improve our efficiency and speed of work, which is ultimately where we are going to make our own financial gain from, is I'm looking at other options to those platforms. QuickBooks and Xero have started to introduce their own AI bits to the system, which is a challenge in itself. But in terms of the receipt processing, that I'm aware there's plenty of other apps out there, and there's one in the UK called Apron, another one called Briefcase, which is an AI enabled one. So we've got meetings lined up with these companies just to understand what it is they can offer, how it works, and how it's actually going to benefit us and our clients. And then we're like most people, we're using Microsoft Copilot every day for helping to draft up documents. We're using the note taking stuff within Microsoft Teams to summarize meetings. I mean, one of my colleagues just recently only started using it, and instead of her sitting there having to type up the meeting minutes that she'd had, which would probably take her an hour and a half, it was done in 10 minutes after
Yeah.
she'd sort of produced it, tweaked it, sent it to the client. Client came back, wow, that's amazing. Oh, right, okay, I'll get on those action points right now. And it just made everything so much more efficient. So really, we don't like, I never like to overcomplicate things. I think a lot of the clients we deal with are quite small businesses. They want things simple, easy to understand. And actually, if we keep our systems and processes similar, it all then flows through to the client.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially the AI note takers. It's pretty funny. You hop on so many meetings these days, and it's just half the meeting is AI note takers, and then it's pretty awesome the summary that it does. And like you would say, typically you would have spent so long taking the notes, and then sometimes you don't get everything, and you got to watch the recording again. So it's pretty cool, yeah, what those, especially like even just a note taker can do. And then
Yeah.
so what would you say is the main processes at the moment that you guys are looking to automate a little bit more or get a little bit more AI involved with that?
So it probably is that receipt processing and invoice processing side of things, because that traditionally in most accounting departments is the slow part of the process. I still work with a couple of clients who their systems are very manual. So the invoice comes in, someone stamps it, someone then has to sign it manually. It then eventually passes through to accounts who puts it on the system. They write the code on the front of the paper invoice, and then they manually pay it through the bank. Whereas we then have at the other end of that scale, we have clients where everything is all digital, it's all forwarded into Dex. They approve it on Dex, they send it into Zero, we then pay it from Zero via modular, all all really slick, really quick and efficient. That particular client would probably save them a couple of days a week
Yeah.
um, on their accounting process.
Mhm.
It's like I said, our big client who we are their outsourced finance team, and they've got something like 1,000 transactions a day going through, and we manage that in 3 or 4 hours a day, which is pretty good going. But they are a client who are very keen to make efficiencies, so that's kind of our target point, I suppose you'd call it. So if we can do something for them and it works, we then roll it out with other clients.
Yeah, yeah, nice. Yeah, that's a lot of transactions every day. And then and then so what do you mean by in terms of like the AI process that you would like to implement for that specific thing?
So at the moment, how we currently have with debts, there is rules that you can set up to categorize transactions, but they're not always 100% correct, and it doesn't always read it very well. And so I've got my team here, the bookkeepers, who are still visually checking and manually checking things and making sure they're being coded right, the VAT is correct, the narrative is all correct. So it's then moving to that next level where actually we can get the AI, the computers to do that bit. And so literally 95%, 99% of the transactions are automatically all going to go straight into the accounting software,
Mhm.
rather than them sitting there going click, 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 which isn't the most exciting job in the world.
Yeah.
But it's that just those extra little steps, and I think we sort of challenge with that is educating the team that it frees them up to do other things. Because I think most people just get comfortable, don't they? They're so used to what they know,
Mm.
and we're all human. That's what we all like things to stay the same generally.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the big challenge that we're gonna face is that change, and they're convincing people that change is good.
Mm.
Um, the pace of change, though, is the scariest thing at the moment. It feels like every every other week you're almost getting an update from the software providers. Oh, we've introduced this AI part, we've introduced this, we've changed the format, we've changed the layout. And I can remember back 25 years ago when I started in accountancy, Sage Desktop was the number one software, and it was there, and it didn't change. And you knew what you were doing, and it was all good. Whereas QuickBooks, Xero, all the cloud providers, they're always looking for ways to make it slicker, make it look better, make it easier to use. And the trouble is, you get used to it, and clients as well, they get used to it, and all of a sudden there's an update comes out, which sometimes we don't even know is coming. It just suddenly appears. And then you've got clients on the phone. Oh, Ben, oh, my QuickBooks has changed. Where do I find how to do my invoices? Where do I find how to do this? So that is a challenge that, yeah, I don't know quite how we are coping with it. We are just about, but yeah, that is, software companies do like to make your life difficult.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. The speed of change recently, it's just astronomical compared to, like you said, back in the day of the change. I think it's just everything, like you said, there's so much new software, so much new updates. It's yeah, trying to stay up to date with what you need to be using, how to integrate it into your business, all that. It's yeah, it's very interesting, but it's also a little bit overwhelming, like you say.
Definitely. And yeah, we have conversations in the office. I mean, my team are, I can't remember what's the term, millennials, I suppose you term us, sort of in that sort of
Yeah.
35 to 50 bracket. So we didn't grow up with technology. We've had to learn it once we started in the working world.
Mhm.
Whereas our apprentice, who's 19, he's grown up with it. He just knows technology. He knows how things work because he's just
Yeah.
grown up with it.
Oh
And I
yeah.
think that's going to be a challenge as well in terms of a lot of our clients we work with are in a similar age bracket. So
Mhm.
this AI coming in and new technology and everything that's changing, they're probably struggling with it too. So it's just working with them to make sure that we can all help each other really.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. Everyone's trying to keep up with all the changes. So I know we're starting to run out of time here. So let's finish on what's on for you guys for the next like couple of months. What are some other like exciting things that you're working on internally in the business?
Yeah, so we're at the moment, we are, one of the things that we've been doing is, because we've been going 4 years, we're looking at all of our providers basically. So whether that's all the way from IT to our insurances, all of that sort of stuff. So we're sort of going out to tender on various different areas. One of the biggest changes that we're in the process of doing is changing our CRM database system. So we've always used something called Bright Manager, which is over here in the UK. However, we've had staff who've struggled with it. It's not always the easiest to navigate around. So we're moving to a specialist platform for accountants called Engager, which again is going to make things slicker. It's going to be easier for our clients to use. We've had issues with people being able to e-sign documents. So that's our big project at the moment. As you can imagine, moving across 100 clients, and we're still a relatively small firm.
Mhm.
Getting them all set up, getting them to sign up to the platform, getting them to sign their revised and updated engagement letters is going to be some task. But yeah, that's our sort of big priority at the moment. And then obviously we already talked about what my growth plans are. So recruitment will be a big challenge and a big project over the next 12 to 24 months.
Yeah. All right, nice. Well, yeah, it sounds like you got a lot of exciting things happening, a lot of growth plans. It's been great having you on the show. Where can people go find a little bit more about you and the business?
Yeah, so sure, you can go on our website, morphry-thyme.co.uk, where you can read about me, my background, and the rest of the team and the services we offer. Also, you can also check out our YouTube channel. For about a year, just over a year, I was doing a daily video post on YouTube talking about various topics, whether that's the local elections or changes to software or how can you improve your bookkeeping. So that's my little piece that I did called Ben on the Fen. So people can find out a bit more about my personality and what it is that sort of drives Morphry Thyme. And then we've got the usual channels of Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn.
All right, awesome. Sounds like a bunch of different places to reach you. And it's pretty cool you were doing that with the YouTube channel as well. So I'll include the links in the show notes below. It's been great having you on the podcast. You guys have been listening to the Business Growth Podcast. Until next time, keep growing.